5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, October 15th, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, last Friday marked the start of the 50th anniversary celebration of Troy University's Hall School of Journalism. There was a full day of activities that kicked off with a big announcement Friday morning on the main quad. Claudia Peppenhorst has more on that announcement and the activities of the day.
The Hall School of Journalism and Communication hit the milestone of its 50th anniversary. A jam-packed day of events were planned to celebrate, including Chancellor Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. unveiling the new slogan for the Hall School, shaping ethical and trustworthy communicators.
You hear a lot about fake news in today's world of journalism. You actually experience fake news. We don't want to be guilty of that. We want our graduates to be focused on reporting the truth, not becoming the news, but reporting the news in a truthful and ethical way.
Interim Director for the Hall School, Dr. Amanda Diggs, says this celebration is not only about the school's milestone, but the students as well.
We are student-focused, we're student-directed. Everything we do, we're thinking about the student today and what that student as a professional is going to be able to do tomorrow. And so students are why we're here.
Whether you're behind the camera, in front of the camera, or behind a computer screen, the possibilities are endless here at the Hall School of Journalism and Communication, where students are being shaped into ethical and trustworthy communicators.
If the students can learn to communicate truthfully in every communication that they do, whether it's for the public consumption or otherwise, if they do that ethically and if they do that telling the truth with integrity, then naturally that trust and credibility will follow.
Following the unveiling of the new slogan, Hall School students attended a master class with Megan Hart Dorsey, a Troy University alumna who says she is honored to return to her roots and teach students what she has learned in the field.
For someone to ask me to come speak to students as a master class, it's really a huge honor because that means that I've done something right in my career. It means that I came to the right school because Troy University Hall School of Journalism and Communication has been such a huge impact on my career. I'm so proud to say I'm a graduate of this program, a two-time graduate of this program. So it's a huge thing for me to be here and a huge honor.
And the 50th anniversary celebration kickoff day ended with a reception in honor of an exhibit of art highlighting the work of Troy journalism students. Kaylee Wright has that story.
When you think of art, you might think of paintings or even music. Chances are journalism is not the first thing you think of. On Friday, the International Arts Center displayed work from Troy journalism students in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Hall School of Journalism and Communications. The student publication advisor, Robin Taylor, explains how journalism is an art form.
So journalism is not music, but all these pieces still need to weave together and be harmonious. And it's not a painting, but it still has to engage people visually for them to get to the heart of a story.
The Art of the Story exhibit displays work that captures attention and uses visual and storytelling elements to engage their audience.
Journalism itself, most people wouldn't consider to be an art, and that's what this exhibit is about, is showing people a different way to look at journalism.
There's a saying that art is not supposed to make the viewer feel comfortable, rather it is supposed to invoke thought and emotion, and a journalist's job is to do just that.
We're telling people what to think about, not how to think. So that's a journalist's job, is to give them all the information, tell them how to think, challenge them to think about things in different ways. And journalism really, especially what we teach at Troy, is a public service.
The work of a journalist can allow the viewer to think for themselves and appreciate the beauty of their surroundings. Metropolitan photo editor Kaylee Weatherford explains that capturing the raw emotion of her subjects is an art form.
Just photojournalism itself, like capturing people's people's emotion without posing them and catching them in the scene of them like doing their everyday life, especially students here on campus. It's an art because it just shows like who Troy University is through their students.
Like Taylor said, journalism is not a painting or a musical piece. However, the ability to translate thought and emotion onto a medium is something that art is able to do. Kaylee Wright, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
How safe is the Troy University campus? Well, one measurement comes each year in the form of the annual campus safety report released by the university. The report outlines reported crimes affected students on and off campus. Maya Mitchell spoke with the university police chief about what this year's report means for Troy.
At the beginning of the fall semester, rape and sexual assault allegations sparked mass protests across college campuses. On Thursday, September 30th, Dean of Student Services Herbert Reeves released the annual safety report required by the Jean Clary Act. The report documents specific crimes reported to university police from the past 3 years. Last year's statistics show 2 reported rapes on campus, a number campus police wants at 0.
We do the best we can, first of all, by patrolling campus with 24/7 police service on campus. Also, a lot of it is about awareness and education. So we speak to different student groups and we discuss, how can you do things safer? What do you need to do to protect yourself? We encourage safety in numbers. We encourage, responsible use of alcohol. We encourage no use of drugs. We encourage a lot of things that tend to be the things that precipitate crime.
If Troy University students find themselves in an emergency on campus, they can find one of these emergency stands or use the Omni Alert app on their phones, but both will send notifications to police at the push of a button.
We provide some different ways for students to report crimes. We have an Omni Alert app that we encourage students to download on their phone. It gives them an opportunity to text messages to the police department. It also gives them an emergency 911 call button on their phone, just some other ways to help keep the campus safe. We provide safety escorts to students if they would like them. Just again, everything that we do is to try and just encourage safe practices and safe behaviors to keep our numbers down.
For anyone who is hesitant about reporting a crime they've been a victim of, Chief Beaudry says,
we really just encourage that report. We can't help if we don't know about it. We can't prevent crime. We can't solve crime. We can't do anything that we don't know about. So we strongly encourage students to go ahead and take that step forward, report to us when they have an issue, report to us when they've been a victim of a crime, give us an opportunity to try our best to help sort out what has happened.
Maya Mitchell, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how a Troy student group worked to prevent domestic violence here on campus. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Troy University's Trojan Outreach spent Wednesday morning helping students understand possible warning signs that could lead to domestic violence. Zeta Ingram shows us how.
It is October, and this month is not just about tricks and treats, but it is nationally recognized as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. On Wednesday, Troy University's Trojan Outreach set up on the main quad to help students recognize signs of domestic violence.
Today we are out here, we're asking students to write down some red and green flags for their relationships, just so that we make sure that they have a good understanding of what are what needs to be in a healthy relationship and what things lead to an unhealthy relationship.
A popular statement I heard among students at the table today was they did not know what to write for either the red or the green flag. This is exactly why Trojan Outreach is dedicating their time to inform the student body.
People our age don't know where to draw that line of something that they don't like in a relationship, and a lot of times they're usually passive about it, and so it doesn't really get addressed in a healthy way, and so they kind of just let it go on until it reaches a point of abuse.
The members of Trojan Outreach feel that it is essential for them to step up and bring awareness to red flags, especially considering the statistics of domestic violence.
When you look at the statistics of domestic violence and interpersonal violence, it's really staggering. And when you consider the amount of students we have here on campus and the amount that are probably fitting into those statistics, it's something that really needs to be addressed, and a lot of times it's swept under the rug. So we're really here to talk about that with the students and make sure they know that they're being heard and that we're here for them if they need anything.
If you're interested in joining the fight to stop domestic violence, Trojan Outreach is hosting a campaign next week called These Hands Don't Hurt, alongside other events throughout this month. Zeta Ingram Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University Student Government Association has a busy few weeks ahead, coming with homecoming right down the road, and that's a focus for the SGA. And the Senate also heard about ways to get Troy students, international students, together here on campus. Mackenzie Foster has the story.
Troy University Student Government Association had their weekly meeting this past Tuesday night. The meeting consisted of passing a couple of bills, upcoming campus events, and homecoming. To start the meeting off, Angela Sharma, a member of the President's Cabinet and International Involvement, spoke to the senators in order to promote the collaboration of Troy University's organizations and international students.
International office is the main office that us as international students, we go, we communicate, or if we have any problems, that's where we reach out. And when we go there and we see, international office trying to put on an event, or if I see some international friends trying to have their, try to organize their clubs, I see that we're lacking a lot of contributions and help from, the student body in general.
And with homecoming being right around the corner, SGA discussed more in-depth details about homecoming. While SGA has a lot on their plate with homecoming, they have made sure to not shy away from other important details and events that are happening on campus.
I think it's really good because obviously we have many different moving parts within SGA. We have certain committees. Miles has a great homecoming committee that's their specific job. So not necessarily all the senators in the Senate have to worry about that, but mostly when it comes to an executive standpoint, that's one thing that I poke my head in on, make sure it's flowing correctly and that everything's going efficiently. But while things within the Senate, Executive Vice President Tim, he makes sure our senators are staying on task with the goals and things we met this summer that we wish to accomplish.
To keep up with homecoming and other events that SGA has coming up, you can follow their Instagram page at Troy SGA. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
On Saturday, the Troy University campus was filled with potential future Trojans as Troy University held its Fall Trojan Day, an opportunity for high schoolers to get a preview of the campus. Once again, here's Mackenzie Foster.
This past Saturday, Troy University hosted their Fall Trojan Day for 2021. Trojan Day is a day for prospective high school students to learn and experience the life of a Trojan on campus. As prospective students got to hear and learn what Troy University is all about, they also got the opportunity to see it for themselves.
So Trojan Day is our biggest preview day on campus. We had over 500 families here today on campus to get a good preview tour of campus. They'll get to see residence halls and dining facilities as well as the other academic buildings on campus. And then we also have a browse session with all of our student organizations and majors, so they get to talk to current students and faculty about all the wonderful opportunities presented to them here at Troy.
As the day was fully planned with fun activities, Troy University's faculty and staff hoped for the prospective students to have a better insight of what life is like at Troy. Jake Brown, one of Troy University's admissions counselors, expresses how Trojan Day is special for the prospective students.
For the students that come and that were able to see campus, we hope that we genuinely gave them an opportunity to see the beauty of campus and really get to see all that we can offer them. And then for the students that are not able to attend, obviously they can see pictures and things like that, but to really feel kind of the warmth and the family atmosphere that we have at Troy, it really is special.
To keep up with Troy University's important dates and deadlines, you can follow the admissions Instagram page at Troy U Admissions. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see the return of the Troy University Symphony Band's live performances. It's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
As Troy University progresses through the fall semester, things have started to get closer to the pre-COVID normal. And that was the case Tuesday night with one of those normal events coming back to entertain the masses as the Symphony Band performed their first live concert in over a year. Kaylee Wright has the story.
The Troy University Symphony Band had an out-of-this-world performance on Tuesday night. For their first concert of the year, they performed J.S. Bach's Fantasia in G minor and The Planet Suite by Gustav Holst. Director of Bands and Symphony Conductor Dr. Mark Walker says that The Planets is a piece that he has always enjoyed.
It's a piece that I have loved since I was a kid, since I was just a little bitty kid. And I have a group, I have an ensemble that can play it, for one thing. The other thing is it's fantastic music.
The movements in the Planet Suite represent the astrological traits of the planets. Mars is the bringer of war, while Jupiter is the bringer of jollity. Each movement embodies these human emotions.
The planets have all human emotions and moods. It's got happiness and joy and anger and bliss.
Dr. Walker says that the Planet Suite can relate to our pent-up emotions that we have repressed during quarantine.
And I thought that was a little way of, I'm not sure, of being cathartic, of having a catharsis with all of our pent-up feelings and so forth of being quarantined.
And though tonight's concert was a great success, Dr. Walker said there were a few things that were a little different from past performances.
We have a few things that we've kind of not lost, but have kind of backslid that we've got to get back. You know, that is no one's fault. It's just the nature of the beast when it comes to having not played together in so long and having been pent up in a quarantine situation.
Dr. Walker is glad that they are able to continue concert season. The next concert will be on November 19th.
It's going to be a little bit more audience friendly. We're going to do some marches. We're going to do some beautiful lyrical music. We're going to do Holst's Second Suite in F, really bombastic opener. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All Troy University Symphony Band concerts are free to attend. Kaylee Wright, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Over the course of the past year, the country has seen a rise in movements calling for racial justice. On Wednesday afternoon, Troy University's English department examined the work of an author known for telling stories about life as an African American. Taylor Wayman has more.
Wednesday, Troy University held an English forum dedicated to the late author Toni Morrison, who wrote many novels about the uncomfortable topic of slavery and progressive change.
I was very curious to sort of delve into what might happen to Toni Morrison in the future, because in the short period since she's died, there's really sort of, I think, a lot of open questions about how her legacy will be curated.
The conversation of race has never been an easy topic to discuss, but Professor Kurt Kernan instead focuses on the creative side of Morrison's work and how it can keep an author's legacy alive in future years.
I think it's very important that for our own sense of creativity, that we recognize that we can take the tools that we learn in a college classroom and really apply them to anything that we read out in the world or anything we see, quite honestly. But I also hope it'll get people thinking about race and about the need to have an open and honest conversation in which those of us who sort of assume we're the mainstream learn to listen more to the artists whose culture helped create that mainstream.
In a presentation, Kernet, who once focused his studies on F. Scott Fitzgerald, spoke about the underrated impact Morrison had on the African American experience. In a world where African Americans only wanted to be heard, Toni Morrison wrote complex pieces of writing that said, "I'm not going to dumb down my work, I'm going to keep my complexity so that the world can see what African Americans have gone through and how we can have this uncomfortable conversation in the future for change."
And I think a writer is doing something wise if they're upsetting people.
Novels such as The Bluest Eye, Morrison's first published novel, and the famous book Beloved, which was also turned into a movie in the 90s, delve into who Toni Morrison was and what she stood for.
Literary figures are every bit as part of our popular culture as rock stars. I mean, writers were the rock stars of their day.
The legacy that Morrison left can be seen in many pieces of art and will continue to impact urban communities for many years to come. Taylor Wayman, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University students had the chance to release their inner artists thanks to the University Activities Council. Ava Jackson shows us how.
Troy University's Activity Council hosted their annual Paint and Sip in Elm Street Gym last night. Students were provided canvases, paint, and sparkling cider to have a relaxing evening painting and listening to music.
What makes this event so fun is there's no boundaries what they can paint. It's literally up to them. It's very free for them to do whatever.
Through this event, students were able to make new friends in a comfortable environment.
UAC's, of course, main goal is to always bring students from all walks of life together with all of our events, and this event is no different than the other ones that we've had in the past. This is just a time, it was showcased to everyone on campus. We're not limiting any of the people who want to come out and do it. As long as you want to paint or you just need something to do, you can always be in attendance at a UAC event.
All UAC events are for all Troy University students from different backgrounds, so although coming together for this event is perfect for people to meet different people from different backgrounds and different cultures.
The UAC committee members meet and ask the student body what events they would like to go to. Students had requested for this event again this semester.
We have our committee members suggest events to us every semester, and this is something that we kept seeing that people would like to see here at Troy, so we brought it for the students to enjoy.
There will be more upcoming events this semester by the University Activity Council.
UAC does have a plethora of different events to offer this semester, and we're also having open ideas for what you all want to see next semester. This month we still have fall formal, of course, and we have a movie night at the vet. We'll have glow roller skating, everything. We still have a lot planned for this semester.
Students can find out more information about their events on their Instagram page at Troy UAC. Ava Jackson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll get the highlights from a pair of Trojan Conference wins from the past week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
The Trojan football team picked up their first conference win of the season last Saturday in their return to Veterans Memorial Stadium. Simon Schussler has the details.
The Trojans came into Saturday's game versus Georgia Southern with a 2-3 record, and were looking to get back to 500 on the year. In the first half, it seemed like it would be smooth sailing for the Trojans. A 29-yard field goal by Brooks Buse would open up the scoring, a hint at what was to come for the Trojans. It didn't take long after the field goal for the Trojans to capitalize once again on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Jabri Barber with under a minute in the first quarter. The Trojans kept piling on the points in the second quarter thanks to a 34-yard Jamontez Woods run, and went into the half up 17-3.
In the first half and played really well early on in all three phases. Offensively, I thought we did a much better job early on of running the football and protecting and scored some points. I really thought we were in a groove.
That groove seemed to shift to the Eagles in the second half, however. Troy's defense would give up 21 straight points in the second half, knotting the score at 24 apiece. A late 31-yard pass to Orlando Lacey would set up a field goal by Brooks Buse to give the Trojans back the lead 24-27. The Eagles' final drive would be stopped by a tipped interception to Javon Solomon that would seal the game as a 27-24 Trojan win.
To our credit, our guys kept battling, our coaches kept coaching, our players kept playing, and we were able to get a win. Anytime you get a win in conference, it's a big thing. So really excited to get this win. None of them are easy. College football's a tough business, and wins are hard, and you realize that when you go through things like tonight.
One interesting aspect of Saturday's game for the Trojans is the decision to not start starting quarterback Taylor Powell. Powell did not get reps in practice last week due to an injury. Last year's starter Gunnar Watson took over the reins, and he talks about the moment he realized he would be starting.
Taylor was banged up on Sunday after South Carolina, and he didn't get any practice reps this week as his knees banged up and all that. So I knew about Wednesday when he didn't practice that day. Wednesday or Thursday was right around the time, but I've just been keeping going and keeping practicing and trying to practice hard.
The Trojans' next game will be in San Marcos, Texas, as they head out to face Texas State next week. That game is set for 2 p.m. and will be broadcast on ESPN Plus, as well as the Troy Sports Radio Network. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And the Trojan Soccer team also returned home to get a much-needed win. Simon Schuessler has those highlights.
The Trojan Soccer team headed into Thursday's game versus Appalachian State following an 0-2 road trip to Georgia, and were looking to snap that losing streak. A tightly contested first half ended with chances for both sides. 4 for App State and 3 for Troy, but Troy was the only side able to capitalize following a 23rd minute goal by Aaron Bloomfield.
Yeah, no, I think we keep seeing a better and better version of Aaron, and she works incredibly hard in training, and it's turning over into the game. She read that pass, and that's just soccer smarts, being a smart soccer player, and she finds a way to score. So gotta get her on the field.
The second half marked a furious comeback effort by Appalachian State, outshooting Troy 6-2 in the second half, as well as forcing a few late corner kicks to put pressure on the Trojan defense. That defense would hold strong, however, as Troy would hang on to beat the Mountaineers 1-0.
It's really rewarding for us because we know we haven't really been playing like ourselves. We've been playing kind of timid. We're almost so focused on the tactics, we're not really focused on just playing soccer. And today I think we actually played soccer, and you can tell by everyone's attitude we had fun, and that's when we play our best.
Something to note about Troy's squad is how vocal they are. You're sure to hear their bench on the sideline, and it's something that head coach Nicole Waters emphasizes.
Yeah, so we actually have an award. It's called Great Teammate, and basically that is just to inspire the bench to be vocal, cheer your teammates on, and get them through the final minutes in a game like tonight when they have a couple corner kicks, in the final seconds of the game. The bench definitely helps us pull those wins off.
And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or you can visit us anytime on the Troy TrojanVision News blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. Until next time, have a good week.